Department of Graphic Design, Türkiye Bolu Abant İzzet Baysal University, Faculty of Fine Arts, Department of Graphics. In conclusion, I'm confident that the conference will provide valuable insights and inspire new ideas to shape the future of fine arts, printing. I would like to thank all of you for your presence here, your contribution to these essential areas of human expression, and I hope that the number of such congresses and exhibitions will increase. Thank you.
Thank you for being part of the opening session. We will have a break, coffee break for 20 minutes, and we will resume in 11:37. Thank you. استراحة لمدة 20 دقيقة. نرجع للصالة بعد الساعة 11:37 دقيقة. Rome and Istanbul University, Jarrah Pasha. Yes. Professor. Yeah, you can stay there. Yes, Professor Erdogan, please. No, you watch. Later you can come. Yes, we want to see.
We would like to thank you for your hospitality.
Your effort and the team, they done a great job.
Designer and educator with a lot of contributions all over the world. We are proud to have a Professor Agnieszka Zimziewicz in the premises of the Cultural and Scientific Association, and to have here in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Professor Agnieszka, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you for a nice introduction. I believe that I have a sound. Yeah. Good afternoon. My name is Agnieszka Ziemiszewska, as mentioned. I know that for some of you that can be a challenge to pronounce my name. That's why I provide how to pronounce it. Also, I believe that this is great introduction to the topic of my presentation, that it will be socio-cultural awareness. On the slide now, I am presenting the city I come from, which is Łódź. I am from Poland. Poland is seen by many countries as a kingdom of posters, but I am not going to present you my portfolio as it is available online. I am just presenting a screenshot from my website. And don't be afraid about language, because I will mostly use visual language, and I believe this is a moment in which I should say 2 words about the presentation itself. That will be an avalanche of images, so please be prepared for many different images. Let me start from the very important issue, which is identity. For several years, I've been curating the project. This is a typographical project devoted to a poster, which aim is to answer the question whether the place and the language we use determine our identity. I will share for a moment with you the short movie which present the last issue of the exhibition that was held in Poland in 2020. Look how diverse we are just in the form of the language we use in writing. To be diverse means also to understand the context of the place. So let me start from my original place, Poland, and the design I did for a specific place in which I live, just not only to share some thoughts, but also to ask the question, what design can do. The posters I will present are a series gathered with under the title Nothing Personal. Let me start from the first image, which presents the billboard with the person wearing not real clothes, but maybe you know that this came from childhood when we have paper clothes, and it said, "I must be somebody." It refers to the pressure of society that we should do something important in our lives, which very often evokes more stress than a joy from what we are doing. This one says, I know my neighbors by sight, and refers to the current relation with others, which are often based by observing people, mostly from the position of social media. This one is very important to me as a designer, as person as well, and says I can prove my existence with my ID. It refers to the fact of constantly increasing bureaucracy in the world, and also to the fact that sometimes being represented by papers or documents are more important than our real presence. This one says, I like animals, and refers to the very interesting observation I made. Many people in Poland declare that they love animals, and also many of them own cat or dog. But when I look from the other position, from the number, how many meat is eaten at the same time, I am a bit confused. What does it mean I like animals? Let me share a short video from the project. Just to summarize it, the campaign caused an interesting discussion, and I got a lot of messages. And I was truly moved by one in which one person asked me to be given with one billboard. Just to remind you, the size of billboard is 3 per 6 meters, so it would be a very original gift. Now staying in the area of the city and the theme of the social problems, I would like to present a project on the relationship between human and nature. I believe that this problem that affects all people regardless of the place they live. In a moment I will show a summary of the project in the form of video, in which people, in this project, people were asked about the role between human and nature, and how is the role of people in cities. During the entire project, we received a lot of entires, and also we exhibited them. But of course, the entires was selected by the jury, and I would like to thank you, Professor Didem, for being part of our jury. Let's take a look at the project. have someone to switch off the lights? Recently, I asked my students about what diversity means to them, and let me share some of visual ideas by them. But myself, I also face nice example of diversity in understanding and diversity between concept and images. I've been invited to the poster exhibition devoted to spring, and the venue of the exhibition was South Korea, so my first thought goes to Hanami. Probably everybody is familiar with what Hanami is. So I decided I executed that poster, which present in my imagination and in my initial idea the Hanami in Korea. But when I presented this poster to my friends and people from Europe, all of them goes to the Damien Hirst exhibition in Paris, and they thought that the poster is not about spring, but is devoted to this specific exhibition. Now I would like to share similar story, how the same concept can be presented by different people, but from the same country. That would be a story about universe done by my students, but you will see two totally different point of view on the same concept. Let's take a look at first. That was very simple typographical project, but let's take a look at the other. Also universe. Now I have a question to you. Which one is your universe? I do believe that graphic design is a searching of universal language in a relation of equality. The concept of equality is very important also in my creative practice. And some time ago I accomplished a project devoted to this term. The works that we gathered during the project were presented in public space, more specifically in subway in Warsaw. That was important because the concept of equality received a wide audience through the exhibition venue. Let's see a brief summary of the project. So that was some ideas in the form of animated poster on the terms of equality. Now I would like to share with you the winning work, which in my opinion beautifully depicted what equality is. I hope that everybody found something about herself, himself, and everybody agree with this statement. Let's go to the another idea we had. Together with my colleagues, I conducted a project entitled For Against, the purpose of which was to identify phenomena in the world that designers think need their intervention. In the entire process of the project, which lasted around 2 years, we received a huge number of different graphic statements. I will share some of them in a moment. The selected works, I believe that I should mention now that the jury member was Professor, and I thank you, Professor, for sharing your knowledge and time with us. We exhibited works in Poland and in China. And here are some contributions, and please take a look how different point of view in regards of sharing thoughts for or against people were. We received some submissions about ecology, about equality, about peace. But the first message that we received during when we started the project was that sentence: it's easier to me design a poster against war than for a peace. That, I think, very interesting issue. Myself also, I faced the challenge of designing anti-war poster, and what is, I believe, worth to mention is the solidarity we've been observing recently in regards of graphic design society. Please take a look that we are not talking about maths, but if you check it in the internet, people wrote this 1,000 times in the internet. So this is important issue. I have students from Ukraine who, with whom we realized her diploma project, and during our works, the war in Ukraine started. So the students came to me and started to cry and answer some questions: why, where we are going, why it happened, and I advise her not to ask question constantly, but try to find answer maybe in visual way. And let's take a look at her trials, how to find even some answer to her very difficult questions. So that was a journey through the questions. I believe that some of you found the answer maybe to the question that bothering you. Some time ago, I received a nice email from the USA, Christopher, this your area, from John, the person that I didn't know, asked me to design poster for upcoming initiative in Richmond, Virginia, under the title Wall of Hope. John explained that the Richmond design community was preparing a project on current issues important on the local community. I found the project particularly important because on the subject matter, but also because of the place of display, which was the street. The concept of the work I am presenting now is based on the symbol of percentage squashed by the hand. I believe that people are not some percentage of something and cannot be divided according to those categories. Those some photos that American colleagues sent me. I will slowly go to the summarizing my presentation, and when I thought how I can summarize it, the first thought that came to my mind was artificial intelligence, as we are talking about awareness of social, cultural issues. And I just thought about some text and asked artificial intelligence what its thoughts about us. This is the images that was produced, but what is a bit difficult to me when I see it, that I see your faces, but artificial intelligence didn't understand it, that we need just even there is no emotion, no contact with people. I do not want to criticize artificial intelligence, but I would like to share with you the very last project today about some kind of how people individually won the technology. Let's take a look at the project in which one of my students gave people the same tool that was a tablet and asked to write one chosen letter. Then the letters were put it together, and a special tool just compare whether we have the same shapes, and in the result of the project we realized that no one wrote the letter in the same way. Each letter was different, like the authors who did it. You know it. I shared with you. Take a look how it was done technically.